I want to tell you a little bit about spatial agreement in ASL because it's really important to maintain spatial agreement in ASL. Remember way back at the beginning of class, we talked about reference, something that you can set up and refer to later. ASL uses space to convey ideas. And so you can set up something to refer to as you sign your sentence or your story. So for example, if I sign I've put my mom right here, so now I can refer back to her in that same space over and over again for the rest of my story. Establishing something in space and referring back to the same place is called spatial agreement. To not agree would be to put her here and then here and then here. And it wouldn't make any sense because I'm not being consistent. But if she's here, then she's there for the rest of my story. That is spatial agreement. So if I keep telling you more about my mom, I need to keep using that same place to refer to her. If I use the other locations, then the space doesn't agree and I don't have spatial agreement. My ASL then doesn't make any sense. So once you establish something and you refer to it, make sure it's the same throughout your story. You can change your spatial referent at any time. But when you do, you need to establish your new referent first so we know who you're talking about. So for example, if I set up my mom here, tell you a few things about her, and then now I start talking about somebody else, I can put that new person in the same place. It's just not going to be my mom anymore. The same concept also applies when you sign go and come. So if I tell you I go to work, then my place of employment is assumed to be right there where I pointed. To come home from work, I would have to start my sign come in that same place where I ended signing go, because I'm going there, now I'm there. So when I come, I need to come from there. So here's another example that includes shoulder shifting to refer to more than one place. So if I say, then I go to work, and from work, I go to class, and then from class, I come back home. Then my space agrees. I have spatial agreement. So if I go to work and then I come back home before I go to class, it would look a little bit different. So you notice I went to work and then I came back home, and then I went to class and I came back home. So as you sign go and come, make sure that you have spatial agreement. You need to be going to wherever it is that you're going and coming from that same spot. And that is spatial agreement.